see the same reaction we saw earlier with the soda can. The cold water turns the steam inside into liquid and creates a vacuum in seconds.
Okay, boys and girls, I'll be your video instructor today, and today we're going to talk about air pressure. We're going to talk about the incredible force of air pressure around us in the atmosphere. You just saw an example of that air pressure crushing that barrel, actually, believe it or not. I'm going to show you another example of air pressure. It's really incredible, actually. Check this out. This is a railroad tanker. You can imagine this is like the water tankers that you see over in India on the sides of the road or driving down the street. They're usually carried by tractors. You know, they've got wheels, big metal cylinders, and usually there's water leaking out the back. So this is like a supersized version of one of those, and it's actually much stronger. Watch what happens. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh! Let's see if they show that again. Alright, I think we need to see that one more time. What happened there? Okay, wait for it. Oh!
760. Gewonnen hat Herr Kapitän.
Okay, the question is, how did that happen? What happened to that tanker? And I will tell you, even though you might not believe me, that that tanker was crushed by normal, everyday air pressure that's around us, you and me, all the time. Yes. Okay. What we're going to do today is we're going to build to the explanation of how that tanker got crushed. I hope by the end of this class, you'll be able to tell me how that's possible. How everyday air pressure that's around all of us can crush that metal tanker like that. So we're going to look at questions that were submitted by students such as yourself after seeing that video. They want to know what is pressure. They want to know why doesn't pressure crush us, or air pressure crush us. They want to know if air pressure is so strong, why don't we feel the air pressure? If air pressure is air pressure really strong enough to do things like crush that tanker? And how exactly does air pressure work? So we're going to use these questions and then answer those questions to build to the explanation of what happened with that tanker. Okay, let's start with the first one. What exactly is pressure? Well, pressure is when two types of matter, or two pieces of matter, touch each other. So every single time that two pieces of matter touch each other, there's pressure created. I want to show you an example of air pressure that you can feel for yourself. Everyone stand up. Now, place your hands on the desk like this woman is. Just touch the desk. Feel the desk underneath you. Now push down on it a little bit, just a little bit. Feel that? Can you feel the desk pushing back up on you? That's pressure, because the atoms and molecules in the desk are pushing back on your hand, and your hand's pushing back on the desk. That's how we feel things, actually, is pressure. Now let's feel a pressure differential. Push a little bit more on the desk. Harder, harder. You feel more pressure? Push really hard. Okay, don't hurt yourselves. You'll get me in trouble. Everyone, come on back, sit on down, release the pressure off the desk. So, I have a question. If matter come into contact with other matter creates pressure, can someone name all the things, everything, that's putting pressure on you right now? I would like to invite a student up to the mic to answer this question for me. Okay, you're saying the desk, your clothes, your chair is all putting pressure on you right now. Is there any other matter touching you right now? What about the air? actually the air around you is matter. We learned that from the air around us class. It's touching us at all times. It creates pressure. It creates something called air pressure. And we're gonna do another little demonstration so you can feel air pressure for yourself. You see this silly lady blowing up her cheeks? Well, she's doing something, she's doing a little experiment, so we're gonna try it. I want you to close your lips and blow your cheeks up like this, just like this lady is doing. Now blow, push more and more air into your cheeks until they're about to burst. Okay, now stop poking your cheeks, feel around in there. You feel that pressure? You poke one side, it pushes the other side, you poke again. Well, that's air pressure. That stuff stretching out your cheeks, that power pushing your cheeks way out, that's air pressure. That's from the air molecules coming into contact with your cheeks and creating pressure. And you can do the same thing with the desk. You can put a little bit of pressure, more pressure, lots of pressure. Okay. There's one thing about air pressure that is kind of interesting, and I want to make sure we really grasp before we move on to the rest of the class. If you blow your cheeks up again, the thing is that the air, and mostly you feel it in your cheeks, on the sides of your cheeks, but the thing is, it's pushing just as much on the inside of your mouth and on your tongue than it is on your cheeks, because air is unique in that it pushes on all sides. Because it's so fluid and it bounces all around, it pushes on all sides. You can see this teddy bear is inside this balloon, and the air pushes out on the insides of the balloon just as much as it pushes in on the teddy bear. And you can probably feel that with your cheeks. If you blow your cheeks up again and give it a little push on each side, but don't squeeze all the air out. If you pay attention real close, you can actually feel that more pressure is created on your tongue. So just as much as pushing out on the inside of your cheeks is pushing in on your tongue. And the thing is, being inside our atmosphere here, being on Earth, there's us, inside this atmosphere is like this teddy bear inside the balloon. The air pushes all around us from all directions, even from underneath. That's a lot of pressure. Okay, that brings us to our next question. Now that we know what air pressure is, how does it work? How exactly does it work? Well, let's check out this video that will give us a little bit more of a clue on how air pressure works. What we're looking at here is, imagine if you had a square cube or a rectangular cube and you zoomed in over a billion times so you could actually see the air molecules, sort of like we did in the states of matter class. So these red things, these are air molecules. And this is how they behave. The air molecules have tons of energy and they bounce all around constantly, all the time. They never get tired. And you can see every once in a while, they bang into the sides of the container and you get all these little impacts. Now we know air molecules are really small. So each impact, that's not gonna do much. But if you had 1 trillion air molecules, that would create a decent amount of pressure.